Okay. Thanks again. We are on the second video. And before we start the second one, also I want to apologize for my English because of lack of practice for 30-some years. It's a little rusty, and as we call it, it's oxidized. So bear with me along this recording. Either my English is getting better or you get used to it. So thank you. I have to express that these kind of problems or challenges is not one man's job. We need cooperation of different educational institutions, universities, etc., etc. But so far, universities are closed. All of them did. Therefore, we only hope we can get some assistance from NGOs in this field, which FIDIC committee in Iran Society of Consultant Engineers probably is our main source, and I hope that we can get assistance of executive committee of FIDIC to assist us to make this, further in more detail and so on. This, what did I say? The Fédération Internationale de Conseillers Ingénieurs is an international federation of consultant engineers, and we hope we get assistance from there. Obviously, Alumni Association of Iran National University, School of Architecture and City Planning, that's us. As Nietzsche said, that's us. And we actually need some of our friends to be volunteer in this, whichever part that they want. Anyways, now we start the second tape, second video actually, which on the first video on post-chronism challenges. In first video, we covered the reason that we call it post-chronism rather than post-chrono, because of the unique characteristic of this virus, which we explained there. And the next topic was assumptions. That our main assumption was based on that this game of a virus is going to continue and so on. And the third topic was economy in future, what economists has visualized for us, and my opinion on, being so extremely well that You can't believe it. This video is the second one. Again, I emphasize the title, Post-Coronaism Challenges. And this should cover the infrastructure of our cities, our societies, etc. And it consists of architectural, ecological, environmental, economical, whatever, all these areas should be covered. But we started from home, habitat, where we live, living quarter. And we see what kind of challenges is in front of us in this area. So we begin from the entrance door. Since you are all architects, forget about the elevators, lobbies, and all those. We are standing in front of our entrance, main entrance to the apartment or house. So just making it so simple, regardless of function, form, space, time, and all the philosophical thing that architect used to wrap up for definition. But your house consists of a couple of known spaces that we know the function, and it's a layout of these spaces according to our taste and desire and preferences. One hand, the other is your income, your wealth, and ability to fulfill your desire. So this is what makes your home something that is you live in. So we start first from those spaces that we already know and we already have inside our home, an apartment. We have those known spaces. We started from there that we already have, like kitchen, bedroom, living room, dining room, whatever we already have inside the house. Okay, let's start from kitchen. Right now, our kitchens are semi-small area with some appliances like fridge, freezer, microwave oven, gas or electrical stove, or coffee maker, something like silverware, and pots and pans. That's usually this. Okay, and it's enough. It's been functioned for years, warming leftovers from last night, or cooking something, or ordering something, takeout, and that's it. What would happen if I tell you that this kitchen is responsible to feed you and the whole family for 3 months? Then what? Is this fridge or freezer spaces, can hold what you need for 3 months? Definitely not. We go back to our cabinets in the kitchen, which they are almost a couple of cans and stuff like that, or chips or cornflakes, and that's it. And so on. We start from microwave. Microwave is something right now, I shouldn't say right now, it's about 5, 6, 7 years that it's obsolete. And even now, Japan and some other countries have ceased producing this. So we should have replaced it before. And it's why we didn't do that, I don't know. But now we need something like MagnaWave, I said, or Lightwave, or whatever, which just imagine, modifying these microwaves or making new ones with the demand we have. If we just get 1% of the world population, 1%, it would be some 20 million microwave or micro-magnowave we need. And you see the amount of capital investment, amount of, let's say, the innovative ideas, and then the labor. See how much we are, what's the scope of what we are talking about, and that's gonna flourish economy, but only with this only one. And then we go to other, appliances that we have, which I am not talking right now about the energy, because we assume, your electricity comes from a company, and everything, water supply. We assume that they are gonna be the same. That those that they are running the electrical company or whatever, they are like you, and they have to stay home. So you might not get that usual services that you expect. And somehow, which we are not going to get in it in this video or probably the next few, we have to think of Tesla and free energy, which is beyond what we are talking now. Then, one of the things that was really pissed me off is that about 10 some years ago, Miss Oprah Winfrey, in her show, had this part that they picked some random houses and they check kitchen with these Q-tips, go around and get stuff out to send to lab, and the pillows. Pillow is something that you hug every night. There were, I can't imagine, so many germs, viruses, anything you name it, in that pillow. And since then, no one has ever thought of, changing the material, changing something on the kitchen surface, or at least the lower cabinet where you prepare all the food, cuts and everything. No one has ever thought of that, to get some antivirus material. Both. You make a new pillow at least that doesn't collect that much germ and virus, and the same as kitchen, the cabinet, and I said minimum the surface of the lower cabinet, that be antivirus. Right now, we know that the metallic surfaces are keeping the virus for more than 4 or 5 days. And the wooden part, as I haven't done that study, I heard, it's for 24 hours something. Why? Why we didn't think of having a material antivirus, at least to cover our cabinet or dining table or wherever? It's much better. And it shouldn't be that difficult to come up with that. But nobody thinks of that, and that's why we are here. And getting fish, alcohol, it's impossible. So probably these are the areas that we have some challenges there. Then you go to your bedroom. Bedroom is a space that you already are using for years, and it functions well. You sleep a couple of hours per day and maybe some other activities, but that's it. And considering that you are in touch and contact with the outside, you go to restaurant on the kitchen side, you party, do whatever, but you come home and sleep there. And that was something a poster I had before. Home is a place that you go after bars are closed. So this is what you had. Now if I tell you this room is, let's call it cage. This cage is for 3 months without outside contacts, then what? After a week, you probably get bored. 2-3 weeks, you probably get frustrated, and then crazy. Just so what I'm thinking about is, first option is to use these visualize techniques that we already have. And if we have time later, I have these videos that you can add, show how you can have some visual effect there, like the floor would be like ocean, you see the wall, everything on the ceiling, you can change it every now and then, and at least, I won't say it would be pleasant, but at least tolerable. You can tolerate the 3 months stay in that cage. The next option is actually changing this space by moving the walls or everything else, which reminds me of a concept called archigram. This archigram was introduced 50 years ago. And it was based on, it has nothing to do with corona or any other viruses. It was just based on human characteristic and desires and what makes it better for them. So they had calculated, or kitchen had 3 years time, bedroom and some other rooms had between 5 and 7 years, that they became boring and they need to be changed. And this concept was very expensive, and I haven't heard anything about that. And I asked even some of friends, they haven't seen anything, and it just vanished. But it was pulling your kitchen out or your bedroom out after certain years and insert the other one. So it didn't work then. But how about now? Maybe we again see archigram, especially after 50 years, the technology is so, advanced, and we might get really some good output from that archigram. And then again, you go to some other rooms, like let's say dining room. You have a table, and let me tell you, in future, we are going to be isolated. That's definite, it's 1 meter distancing and everything. It's kind of things will stay with us. So assuming this is your dining table, you have, normal distancing or whatever, but that's not what I am talking about. First of all, the surface should be new material, as I said, and then there would be this kind of plastic or glass coverage that isolate you from other members of the family, which I already saw some design that it comes from ceiling, some kind of plastic or glass to just let you talk and do whatever while you are in your seat. And this is the same in, you can sit there and think about it. It doesn't need a Nobel Prize or a couple of PhDs, that you can sit wherever you are. In this 3 months sitting at home, wherever you are, look around and you can think of what it's needed to be changed. And I tell you, this is much better than saving pandas on your mobile or playing solitaire or things that will shrink your mind and brain. And otherwise, if you sat there and think, it gives you a better chance to be eliminated in the next process. Don't remember, if you still can think and you stay that way, then it might be a problem. So you choose whatever you want to do. And now we go to appliances, to systems and other things, because the rooms is not too much work. Let's talk about air conditioning. Already we have a system that with the help of outside air, cool it or heat it or whatever, and you have a pleasant or actually good temperature inside. Assuming that you don't have to or you cannot touch outside air, be contact, no. So this is not that difficult again, so you can either get the outside and filter it and so on and let it be circulated, or you can, right now they have, I've seen this oxygen makers and stuff, so it's not, that part is easy. But the difficult part is if you are 5, 4, whatever, in a house, let's say in a cage, every time you inhale, get oxygen, and then when you give it back, it's carbon monoxide or dioxide or whatever. So after a while in this cage, you are going to have 50, 60, 70% carbon and less oxygen. Here, these are the things, I'm just saying that you have a smoke detector now, you need oxygen detector later, you need virus detector and all these things. But now, assuming you have done inserting oxygen and everything, but now what? 60, 70% of the air inside your cage is carbon. So whatever you do, when you inhale again 70% carbon and 30% oxygen. And again, it gets worse and worse. It probably is not that easy to get rid of that carbon. But nature has solved it for us. Plants are taking carbons in and giving you back oxygen during the night, which is called photosynthesis. This is probably the best way that we can solve this problem. And fortunately, good news is that we have already plants that are maybe 3 or 4 times they do the photosynthesis per 24 hours. Maybe it's not enough, but we can, work on it and get plants that can change this or activate the photosynthesis function for 5, 6 times per day. That will solve this part of our problems. Then those plants could be in flower boxes anywhere inside the house, or we need a gardenette. This gardenette would help you to have those plants. Something is very, very important is the visual and those things that helps you to relax and give you a better feeling, which are flowers. So this gardener will help you to have flowers. And in addition, those veggies that you cannot keep on your fridge or freezer, which I don't think I mentioned that in kitchen you need the storage sensitive to temperature to get these ingredients, everything there. So that's another space in kitchen. So far, and that's for our air conditioning and stuff. And the only thing remains, and thanks for telling me that's almost 20 minutes, we can cut it somehow. The other thing that we need is that this treadmill and bike simulation, this stuff that we have inside most of the houses we have, and that's good for our belly, for our abdominal muscles, or to make you fit, or body building, etc., which are not important at all in that cage, because you need some sports that keep your liver alive after 3 months. Each organ needs, so the training and sports and machinery, everything will change. So that's another area that you can work on it or think about it. So since it's we have taught too much, again we put the email and stuff underneath there, and that's it for the second one.